Hello, good evening. Welcome to Slow It Down Sundays. I am Arlene Connelly-Drummond, your S.T.R.I.D.E coach, and I am so happy that you have taken this moment today to join me to take this opportunity to recalibrate, to refresh, to renew, to revive, to restore, to replenish, and to reposition your mind and your thoughts and your actions for a productive week ahead. Welcome to Slow It Down Sundays. I am so happy for us to have this time. You know, as I was preparing for tonight and just slowing my own self down, how many of you took time for breath today? Really took a deep breath and just inhaled the gift of life we have in our breath. Such a gift. And so as I was preparing for tonight and just settling myself, I reflect on the week that just passed. And many in the past week spent time celebrating Valentine's Day. And I'm not a real Valentine's type of girl. I would tell my husband, if you decide to buy me flowers on Valentine's Day, I'm not really excited or impressed by that. Like, don't do that. Not when the flowers that you could have gotten me last week or you can get me this week or even today was marked up, by 100%. Show me love in random acts of kindness on any given time. While I appreciate that we take a moment, we pause to show love and express love and share love and have that spirit of love permeating in our environment, it's good. But I'm so encouraged by us living love daily, showing love and kindness continually. One of the greatest commands that we got is to love our God, to love ourselves, to love others. That's our great assignment, to love. And it's so, I don't know about you, but the noise that we've been just permeating our world can cause us to not feel peaceful. It can all cause us to question the spirit of love. But I'm going to just invite us today to calm the noise, put it aside for today, for this moment in time, and just allow ourselves to be centered and grounded in the essence and the spirit of what love really truly means for us. And what I want to encourage and challenge and have us think about today is, are we truly loving? Are there ways and opportunities that we could love with more or a greater sense of intention? Can we be more creative and innovative in the way that we love? Love grows when we nourish it, when we allow it to thrive. And that requires us to put in creative, innovative, out-of-the-box thinking when we are looking and identifying ways to express our love to others. You hear it all the time, and they say love is action. It's an action word, right? So it's not just something we say, it is something we do. But I also think it's a way of being. It's a way of being. When I am love and love permeates through my daily action, it's part of how I live, it's part of how I interact with others. It is what I think. I'm thinking, how do I treat others with the level of kindness that I want to experience? How do I communicate and interact with others in a manner in which I am showing up and be fully present, because I want others to show up and be fully present for me? How am I leaning in and truly listening to those I care about, because I'm hoping and I am desiring for them to listen to me? How am I coming up with creative and innovative ways to show my love and appreciation for those that matter to me? How does love show up in the daily things that I do, in my career, in my friendships? It's not just about my romantic relationships. How are we showing love to our children, to our extended family members? How is love showing up in how we are pursuing our goals, our dreams, and our aspirations? Are we truly loving with a greater sense of intention? That's my challenge for us today. That's what I would like us to ponder today. Because there was a lot of hustle and, bustle about getting the flowers and the chocolates, and we got to get the card and the this. And I'm just wondering, is that truly an intentional sharing of love? Or is it a more robotic sense of, this is what I have to do, this is what is expected, this is how I need to show up, because if I don't, the people in my life would think I don't care or I'm not expressing love. And I just want to challenge that. I want to challenge that, because love is an action. So if you're only waiting to be an expression of love on that day that the world says this is the day that we are carving out, I'm just going to challenge us that we are not truly walking in love if we only bring it down to that day. But to some of you may say, no, Arlene, I'm not doing that. I am just putting a crescendo. I'm just spotlighting my love on that day, because I want to make sure that the persons and the people in my life know how much I love and care about them. And I'm just going to encourage us all. Could we do that daily? When I think about the words that tomorrow is not promised, I'm always thinking about how are we showing up fully present each and every day? How do we ensure that our home is an expression of our love? Are we creating space for peace, for connection, for interaction, where those that we care about know that our home is a safe space? That's a place where communication is exchanged, where love and peace and kindness is shared, where understanding grows, where forgiveness is part of who we are and what we do, where respecting and honoring each other is our way of life. Are we creating space for love to be part of how we are, who we are? And so I've been thinking about this, and as I go through my daily action, and I'm going through all the different tasks and things that I'm doing on a daily basis in my work, in my leadership, when I'm guiding others, when I am coaching, when I'm being a supporter, when I'm being a champion for others, am I operating from a place of love? And so that's where I really want to check in with you as we are having time to slow it down today. I want to ask you that. How is love showing up for you in your life? And you may be saying, Arlene, I've just had a flutter of love stuff over the last few days. I hope you were going to talk about something else. But it's important as we reflect on the past week and we reposition ourselves for the week ahead, that we process all things that are going on in our lives. And so many people have had thoughts and conversations around this subject. Some people were feeling unfulfilled or left behind or unloved over the last few days. There were some who were saying and feeling they're not good enough. Why doesn't anyone give me the time and attention that I so desire? So many flutter of emotions go on during various designated holiday times like these. And so it's important that we lean in and we check in with ourselves around how are we feeling, what's coming up for us, what is showing up for us. Because so many times we are so busy in the moment, we are truly many times being reactionary to what's going on in the world and the things around us. But this moment of slow it down allows us to be reflective, to be introspective, to really check in with our internal self. You know, the concept of self-leadership, I don't know if we've spent any time pondering that, but I'm going to just put it out there for each and every one of you. Self-leadership, we have to lean into, I got to know me. I have to understand me. I have to understand my triggers. I have to understand my processing mechanism. How am I thinking about things? All of those interact and impact how I show up, how I lead my life, how I engage with others. So, yeah, the love thing is in my heart and in my spirit because it is the greatest command for us to love. And first love, I have to be able to love me. And so this moment, as I slow it down, I have to ask myself, and I'm asking you to ponder, how have we been loving ourselves? I'm asking myself that. Am I showing myself the kind of love that I know I deserve and I want and is important for my self-preservation? The manner in which I love myself gives others the opportunity to either mirror that, or it allows me to be intuitive and discerning when I know the caliber and the depth of how I care for me, and when people and those outside of me don't mirror that or doesn't contribute to that, I have to ask myself, what is the role, purpose, and value of those individuals in my life? If they deplete, take away, exhaust my energy and my spirit of love, is that any type of energy that I want around me? So I'm very mindful, and I want each and every one of you to just check in. And the question for you tonight is, how are you loving you? How are you showing up for you? How are you caring for you? How are you giving to yourself? How are you nurturing yourself? How are you ensuring and pouring in to you for your growth, for your development? What are you doing? Because if we struggle to do that for ourselves, but we so freely do it for others, we are out of balance. Because what we will find is we are depleted and we're exhausted. And sometimes we are resentful because we feel that we are pouring so much out and we don't feel it being reciprocal. And so I really want us to check in with that, because while we don't love for the purpose of someone giving it back to us, but it is the opportunity for us to have a measurement for ourselves of what we desire, what we need, and what we expect. And so my other thought was, you know how we talk about the 5 love languages? And I really love those. And, there's so many more ways that we express love. And in the spirit of being innovative and creative, could we possibly come up with some of our own personal love languages that may build on the ones that have already been put out there? Have you checked in with those that are important to you to get a sense of the things or the ways love and care shows up for them? Because as you know, so often the manner in which we want love for ourselves, or we think we're giving love, it may not be the way that someone else is receiving it. So it's so important that we do that check-in. So I love adventure. So my love language could be the love of adventure, right? I love surprises, right? I love opportunities for experience. That's my greatest love. I love the gift of experience, the gift of time. The gift of time is so important to me. And so think about what and how love is showing up and reflecting for you, and how you're going to step into your new week. As we see February just running pretty fast, but we have the opportunity, as we are stepping into our new week, to be a little bit more intentional, have a greater sense of clarity and focus, and really look at, how can I show love this week in an innovative, creative way? How can I express my care and appreciation and adoration and respect for those in my inner circle? How can I wow and surprise others? How can I step out of my comfort zone and do life, love, living a little bit differently? How do I infuse some energy and excitement into my relationships? There is so much noise going on, and I'm going to encourage us to protect, nurture our peace, our joy, our living, and our love by being very focused, very intentional in how we are operating on a daily basis. It is going to require us to lean in a little bit more, create more sacred opportunity for joy, be a little bit more intentional with being nice, pleasant, kind to others. Smile a little bit more. Compliment people a little bit more. Can we try that this week? Can we try being an expression of God's love this week in the various places we go, and the things we're doing, and the people we're interacting with? Can we be an extension of light in what can sometimes seem like a very dark and discouraging space? Can we do that? Can we, in this week, find more spaces to pause? Can we, as we step into our new week, love a little harder, love a little bit more intentionally, be a little bit more joyful and peaceful in what we do? Think about how you can show up this week differently in the various spaces of your life as you're planning and you're positioning yourself for your week ahead. Slow down enough so that you can be intentional in being an expression, an extension of love. This is Arlene Connelly-Drummond, and I am here to ensure that we are slowing it down. We are taking our breaths. We are recalibrating, re-energizing, and recommitting ourselves to the lives we desire so that we are active participants in the life we're creating. And we're not just letting ourselves be manipulated by the outside noise. Be intentional this week to live, to love, to laugh, and be an extension of love. See you next Sunday as we slow it down and we take time to be an extension of God's light. I'm so happy that you took time to slow it down with me tonight, and I look forward to seeing you and connecting with you next Sunday. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Share it with others. Lean in and listen to the various episodes that have already gone on, and let us continue to be an extension of hope and peace and love. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next Sunday on Slow It Down Sundays.